And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. As usual, we want to start off with a verse from God's Word. For you formed my inner parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. That's poetic language. I think he is saying why he was being formed in his mother's womb. That's a Psalm of David, Psalm 139, one of his most famous uh, uh, psalms, talking about children being formed in their mother's womb. Well, this case, there's a case that is going on. It is all over the news station. What you are looking at right now, her name is Lindsay Clancy. She is 36-year-old. She lives in Massachusetts. This is the mother, who was a former nurse, who strangled her 3 children in January of 2023. Just a quick synopsis of what happened, and it's horrific. On January 24th, 2023, in Duxbury, Massachusetts, Clancy used exercise bands to strangle her children, 5-year-old Cora, 3-year-old Dawson, and 8-month-old Kaylin. Cora and Dawson died that day. Kaylin passed away 3 days later. 3 days later. After the killing, Clancy cut her wrist and neck and jumped from a second-story window. She survived the fall, but was left permanently paralyzed from the waist down. Her husband, Patrick Clancy, returned home from picking up takeout and medicine to find the horrific scene, and then he called 911. She purposely got her husband out of the house so she could commit those acts. I'm going to do like a 4-part series on this. I think this case is exposing a lot of things in our culture. And so I was looking at a podcast from Megyn Kelly's show, the Megyn Kelly Show. She's on with Dr. Drew. And here's the first one. Here's the first clip I'm going to show. I'm going to use one clip per show and expose, again, the horrific state of our country and how Christians should look at it. Here's the first clip.
There's a lot of heat around women sympathizing for her. And people want to politicize that, but I don't think it's a political thing, though. I don't think so.
Let's talk about that, because I think a lot of people are deeply disturbed by the nutcase so-called mothers out there. Okay, there are a lot of women who deal with postpartum,
Yes.
and it's a real thing, and they get through it, and they do what they need to. There's an infinitesimal number of women who actually would murder their child, resulting from postpartum depression. But weirdly, there's a large number of women who will post a picture or video of themselves with their beautiful baby online with the soundtrack of Kevin Reddington, the defense lawyer, saying all the terrible things that Lindsay was feeling. And they're fine with it. They're like showing themselves with their own child as though they might hurt their child, just like Lindsay, because this is like somehow, common. It's horrifying. I think 99.99% of the women out there, the only pictures we've ever taken with our child, never mind would consider posting, would be ones showing how much we adore and love and treasure and protect them.
Yeah.
So it's like completely turning the image of motherhood on its head. Do we have
Completely turning the image of motherhood on its head. What image is that? What image is motherhood in a country where abortion is not only allowed but celebrated? This discussion that we're going to see between Megyn Kelly and Dr. Drew, it is crazy in a country where abortion is not only allowed but celebrated. She said, here's what she said. She said, there's a small number of women who would murder their children. Really? Megan, are we forgetting abortion? Small number of women who murder children. What she shows, I'm going to show you her interview with Dr. Drew. She shows many women with their children holding their children, listening to the defense lawyer for this Clancy, for Lindsay Clancy, sympathizing with the mother, not the 3 children who were murdered, the mother who murdered the 3 children. And then she says, turns motherhood on its head. Really? You don't think every time a woman walks into an abortion clinic and ends the life of the child in her womb, you don't think motherhood is turned upside down then? The image of motherhood is not damaged then? I'm going to show you with the subsequent videos between Megan and Dr. Drew, and it's like they absolutely refuse to acknowledge that the horrific practice of abortion exists. Now, some will say, well, we're talking about children who are outside of the womb instead of inside the womb. And my question is, what's the difference? They allow abortion at 40 weeks. I'm telling you, this case, I think, is exposing the horrific state of our country, because the only difference between what Lindsay Clancy did and women who go to Planned Parenthood is only a few months apart. Same thing, mother taking the life of their own child.